Welcome to Kletus Ray's Roadside Service. I am your host, Kletus Ray. We are rolling out of Omaha. We're doing stuff now. I made it to the shop over here, and now we're heading out. I got a guy following me. I don't know why. I don't know why. I guess he just needs some hours. He just needs some hours or something because they're sending him up here to help me handle a hose. Like, I don't think I need any help handling the hose, but all right, send him on up. I'll do it. He seems like an okay guy. Looks like he's got a little bit of a short neck, but that's okay. Some people have long necks, like my brother. He got a long ass neck. If he was a dinosaur, he'd be one of them fucking tree eating dinosaurs, but he ain't. So, but anyway, I don't know what I'm talking about here. We're rolling around. We're having a good time. Got to figure out how to get out of this place. I think I might stop for some coffee. I don't know. They said, hey, you can't even start loading until 11. So, no rush here. I'm like, really? What the hell? But, hey, my hotel stay went well. I had the green, you motherfucker. I had the green at the stoplight. Zip, zap, motherfucker. I'm a gold member at my hotel, and that's not cool with me at all. I'd like to be platinum elite Gemini again, but I don't even know if that's a thing, but I think I was. I felt like a Gemini when I walked in there. What's a Gemini? What the fuck does that even mean? I think that means you were born in May. I don't fucking know. I'm a Sagittarius. Whenever I go to a Chinese restaurant growing up, and it says I was a fucking dragon, I think, or something, or a chicken. Maybe I was a chick. I don't know what the fuck a Sagittarius means, but it is kind of funny whenever you look at those things and you're like, hey, that actually, like, some of those actually fit. Some of those horoscopes. Anyways, we're rolling up here. I had a good time last night. You know, for being a gold member, I was actually treated with a little bit of respect when I walked in there. She handed me a little brown envelope with my key card when I got checked in. And I said, "Oh, what's this?" She said, "Oh, it's just a thank you card." I'm like, "Okay." And I didn't open it until this morning. That's what it was. I thought there'd be money in it or something. I don't know. I opened it up, and when money didn't fall out, I didn't even read it. Poor lady who sat down and wrote all those up. I'm like, whoever wrote this didn't know I was showing up here. So it doesn't really feel all that personal to me. Okay? Don't write me a note unless there's money in it. You know what also happened? The other day, my wife was walking with mail and she was just throwing stuff in the trash can in the driveway. Oh, god damn it. Come on, Globe Transportation. What are you doing, Globe? Oh, it says the fucking highway's shut down. I don't know how the fuck to get out of here. I might have to make a couple of phone calls. Hold on. Actually, I don't think I need to pause. I don't know what the fuck is going on. Keep saying that the road's closed, but it ain't closed. Fucking Omaha. I got a guy following me, and I was like, I hope I'm not leading him into a closed road, but it's open. It's for sure fucking open. I'm on it right now. Where are we going? We're going over here. Yeah, but I was a gold member. The lady's like, you want some water? You can have 2 waters for free. I said, for real? Even though I think I got like a soda and a snack before, but I guess gold members all you get is some water. Or I did have a thinking a thought that whenever she looked at me, she's like, my boss told me if they're a little chunky, offer them 2 free waters, but if they look skinny, they can probably have 1 soda. So I don't know. I may have been body shamed at the Holiday Inn in Omaha, but that's okay. I appreciated the waters. They were delicious. They were something good to have. All right, we're turning now. The fucking light changed while I was going through it. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. Uh, I called a buddy yesterday. You guys like whatever I say I did something today, and then I'm like, no, it's actually yesterday. I could have lied to you. I could have told you it was today, but it wasn't today because he's in Australia. I called up that Shane's Got Tattoos guy. I was like, dude, we can record a podcast. And he's like, I can't international call. I said, damn it. All right. Well, never mind. We can't record a podcast right now because I think we're gonna one of these days. I just got to figure out how to get it all set up. He said something about Discord, and I was like, hey, I have that. We might be able to work something out with that. But no, I watch his videos all the time, and if you don't, you should. Okay, if you like what I do, you're gonna like what he does because he's a good guy out in Australia. Don't talk to him about his motorcycle though. He about ripped my damn head off when I brought up the motorcycle. I was like, yeah, you mentioned that you had a motorcycle, and he's like, don't talk about the motorcycle. I said, shit, sorry, I won't talk about the motorcycle. He's got a motorcycle. I just wish he would ride it. I bet he wishes he'd ride it too. But anyways, I talked to him. I was hoping because I looked up on Google. I said I was driving. I had nothing going on for 2 hours when I was riding up here, and I was like, I wonder what time it is in Australia right now because it is 6:30, and it was maybe it was I don't know what the fuck time it was. I don't know. But anyways, I looked it up and it was early morning for him. So I said, I'm going to call him up. And I did. And we talked. Now, the audio wasn't the greatest. I don't know. We called on Facebook Messenger, which calling somebody on Facebook Messenger feels like you're doing a drug deal. But it was a good time. We talked a little bit. My first time talking to him. But I don't know. We're going to try to figure something out. I just got questions. I got questions that only Australians would know. So I need to call him and talk to him and figure it out. I can't just text him and be like, hey, man, what the fuck is Vegemite? And is it gross? I just want an instant response. I don't want to have to wait for him to type it back. I also called up old Luke, talked to him about some stuff. And now that I'm thinking about it, Luke, if you're hearing this before I talk to you, you got my cantaloupes, and I need my cantaloupes back. Okay? And he knows what I'm talking about. We were right as we were leaving to get out of there, a guy on a gator pulled up, said, how are you going? This is a campsite down south Missouri, Kansas. I don't know where the fuck it is. But it's down south. It's in Missouri. And guy pulled up as we were getting ready to take off, and he's like, you guys ain't leaving yet, are you? I was like, we are going. We're going. We got to go. And he's like, oh, well, I got all these cantaloupes. And then his mom, my buddy's mom, was sitting there. She's like, oh, yeah, he goes to the farmer's market and buys them buys these things, and then gives them away for free. I'm like, that's a horrible business model. But hey, I'm here for it. So he gave me 3 cantaloupes, and I'm excited to do something with some of them, eat them up or something. They're probably pretty good. Um, oh, speed limit's 55. Who in the fuck put that up? Why is it 55? But yeah, so I need my cantaloupes back. That's what I called him yesterday. I was like, "Hey, well, you didn't talk too much after the trip. I wanted to talk to you." He said, "I'm on my way to have my very first Quiznos sub." I said, "I can't believe it. The day has come." Like you got in at the end of the line here, okay? I mean, I don't know if Quiznos is gonna last too much longer. It's a good sandwich. It's a delicious sandwich. But I don't see Quiznos making it too much further, you know. Um, but anyways, yep, I just had a good time. I listened to a couple of podcasts about I don't even know what, and then drove on up here and got in my hotel. My parking spot was perfect. I looked it up on Google Maps. I was like, I hope it's not like full of trucks when I get there. And I get there and I'm the only fucking truck. I couldn't believe it. And I was able to park exactly where I wanted to, up out of the way, perfect, looking pretty. I did wash the truck because my boss was asking me to wash the truck. And if I didn't wash the truck and showed up, he'd have been, well, I don't know. He probably wouldn't have said anything for a while. But I went ahead and washed the truck. I had time. I was like, I could use another, half hour's worth of pay to fuck around. So I'll do that. Um, and yeah, I pulled into this shop over here this morning. I grabbed some sausages. They had some pork sausages. The problem is the lady cooking the pork sausages didn't cook them all the way. So they're like, I don't know. They looked fucking disgusting. There was a couple of them that I ate and they tasted good, but the rest of them, I didn't eat the rest of them. I was like, these fucking pork sausages look like condoms that have been used and are still on a dick. They're just like got juice on the inside of the fucking sleeve. And I said, I can't put these in my mouth. I just can't do it. It's not going to happen. Except for a couple. I did put a couple in there. And then I just laid around until about midnight, 1 a.m., 2 a.m. I don't know. I wasn't keeping track. Just laying around. It was really nice to be clean, dry, nobody yelling at me, uh, and on a clean bed. It was just like, whew, I needed this. I needed this for sure. And I got it. It was pretty nice. I don't know where I'm staying tonight. I might just go ahead and just do this one run and then call it quits. That's what they are making it sound like they want me to do. I want more hours than that. But I think it's going to be more complicated if I don't do that. If I just keep it simple, drive up here 3 hours, get a load, drive back 3 hours, offload, and then just call it a day. That's not going to be a lot of time for me to book. The per diem won't make up for as much as I'm sitting around. So my thought is probably go up here, get loaded, turn around, get offloaded, go back up there, and maybe sleep. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe get loaded. But I don't think I can get loaded that late. So I don't know what the fuck I'm gonna do, but we'll figure it out as we go. I should have got the phone number for this guy back here. He's racing me now. Look at him go. But yeah, so that's about all I got for you right now. I had to get up on here and start talking about something for a little bit. So I talked about something. Now I'm gonna pause it. I'm gonna look for something to mind my mind for 2.5 hours, and then I'll be back later. Well, back so soon. It is now 12:20. And I got loaded and I'm headed out. I just left the job site there. There's a little fenced in little chemical plant. I don't know what it is. They got a couple of silos and a couple of big tanks, and that's about it. Just fenced in the middle of nowhere. And they had a little frac tank sitting there. Not a little frac tank, regular size frac tank, 21,000 gallon. And I sucked it as much as I could suck it. I sucked it good. I didn't want to, overload myself. It wasn't that important that I, load the whole trailer as to capacity, because tomorrow I'm going to only have probably a half a load. So I didn't load it super as much as I could, but I did load it quite a bit. And we got some samples. That's the weird thing about this job, where you're thinking, do these Omaha guys know what's going on? Do they know what the fuck they're doing? I don't know. I think they do, but there's little things that pop up here and there that you're like, hmm. And this has been the only one, other than this one little thing, is where I start questioning what the hell is going on, because usually I don't haul anything unless it's been sampled and profiled, and we know for sure it's good to go. Now, I get up there. There's a kitty cat. Don't run under my truck. I can't stop in time for you, kitty cat. Oh, why am I turning? I'm not turning. The one guy, he showed up. He was a little bit behind me. We were both stopping, and I stopped on my way up. I did. Even though I ate breakfast at the hotel, I still stopped, and I was like, I need a coffee. And then, of course, I stopped over at Come and Go. You ever been to a Come and Go before? They got some of the best pizza, and they had breakfast pizza sitting out, and it was fresh, and they had just put it out, and I was like, oh, I think I might get me some of that, and I did, and a French toast, sausage, egg, and cheese sandwich. Oh man, it was good. But I don't know. The guy I was rolling with right before I stopped recording, he took an exit. I took the exit, even though it was off route, and he took me to a no truck route. And I'm like, where the fuck is this guy going? So I stopped and I called up the boss over there in Omaha. I'm like, hey man, I don't know what the hell your worker's doing. He's taking me through a zone that says 6 ton max, and I'm over that a few times. I'm 20 ton right now, empty. So that's not cool. I don't know where he's going or why he's taking me here. He's like, oh, he's coming back to the shop. He forgot some stuff. I said, okay. I turned around and headed back up. And I got to the site and I loaded. I was almost finished loading by the time he showed up, but that's okay. I didn't need any help. That's what I was trying to tell him. I was like, I don't need anybody to go with me. I don't need any help. I'll be fine. But he showed up anyways, right? He's like, oh, we're done? I was like, yeah. Yeah, we're done, dude. I don't know. If you lollygag at all, you're gonna miss it all. Okay, you lollygagged it, and now look at me. I'm done. I'm done working. I'm super fucking trucker. I beat you here. I loaded, and I'm ready to start picking up when you arrive. And he's like, I need samples. I'm like, and that's where I was like, what, what, what are you talking about? He's like, I need to get some samples. I need these 3 jars filled up. I'm like, what the fuck do you need samples for? He's like, I don't know. They told me to get them. And that's where I'm like, why? Well, who's in charge around here? What the hell are the samples for? Samples are supposed to be done beforehand. So I don't know what is going on, but I helped him. We taped him to a stick and dunked the bottles down into the liquid and pulled it out. And I said, there's your samples, bud. I don't know what you need those for. Hasn't this thing, we already know what's in this tank, right? It's called sponge water. Don't know what that means. Water from a sponge. It's some sort of SpongeBob stuff. I don't know. SpongeBob water. But no, the guy I'm working with, he's cool. He's cool. He's just like, yeah, because I called him as we were leaving, because I just went ahead and picked up the truck and I was starting to head out. I was like, I'll give him a call, see where he's headed, and because he's going to Omaha, I'm going to Fremont, and I was like, what the hell's going on, man? He's like, I don't know. Anyways, we're done working basically. I just got to drive, which is cool. I like to drive. I got like a 3-hour drive down to Fremont. Turn in 7.5 miles. I could do that. And yeah, that's about it. I mean, it's the truck is still running. It's still got the issue where you got to let off the throttle and get back into it for it to remember where the throttle is. I don't know what the hell's going on. It's like you hold it full throttle for too long, and it forgets where it's at. And then you gotta zero it out by letting off, and then get back into it. And it's like, oh shit! All right, let's go. But other than that, it's just a little bit annoying. I don't know what to. Seems to work better on cruise control, but I like having my foot on the floor. I don't know. I do like cruise control, but cruise control just gets you into trouble where you're clicking it down because you're rolling up on some slowies, and you're clicking it down, and then you're putting on the throttle, and then a lot of times I find myself driving with cruise control on and my foot on the throttle, and that just makes no sense. But nothing really interesting going on out here. I did get stuck in a funeral procession. Right as I come over this hill, there's a little neighborhood of this little town, and I immediately I have to stop. And then everybody in this town was going to this guy's funeral, or woman, I don't know. I didn't ask, but there's a lot of cars. I'm like, y'all do your funeral procession how you want to do it. Actually, is what I said. I didn't say that. I said, if you'd have cremated the son of a bitch, I'd have had the bandit right now. And that's a Smokey and the Bandit reference. But anyways, not a whole lot going on. I think I'm gonna hopefully Joe Rogan came out with a new episode today. I listened to a lot of the Joe Rogans that I had missed out on. A lot of people were upset with the Bono episode. I listened to most of it, so I guess I didn't really enjoy it either. I don't know. Bono. Hey, keep on keeping on, Bono. I don't need to hear about your life though. You're a cool guy. Let's keep you cool by not hearing what you have to say. But then just released another episode here recently, and it's an MMA show episode, and I don't know. I find myself every time I hear Joe Rogan talking about the MMA and fights and stuff, I just hit the 15-second skip button until I hear stuff not about fighting. I don't know. I'm not into it. I thought maybe I would get into MMA, like watching it or anything, but I definitely don't want to hear people talking about it. Oh, you see that John Jones fight where he poked that guy in the eyeball and then his balls fell off and then oh, you got to get in the ice box and blah blah. I'm like, all right, I don't need to, don't care, don't need all that right now, Joe. I just want to hear you talk to interesting people. But it is funny when you go to the comments of the Joe Rogan episodes and people are all in there like, they're like, did you know that Joe Rogan grew up in San Francisco with hippies and they sat around naked playing bongos? And it's like, because he brings it up a lot. There's a lot of stories that he brings up all the time, but he's talking to brand new people every time, and he these things come up, and he has that's another comedian trait, is that comedians can say the same thing over and over and over and over and over and over again, and they never get tired of telling it, which is a good trait to have if you want to be a comedian. But when you're the biggest podcast in the world, everybody that listens hears it all the fucking time. Okay, I'm sitting here complaining about Joe Rogan. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Joe, if you hear this. But I know everything about your life. You have no new stories for me to hear. I listen to them all. But if I got on the Joe Rogan episode, I feel like, and I would never, but this is just a fucking little, I don't know. If I was on the Joe Rogan episode and he started telling me some stories about him, I don't know, going fishing and having a guy saying there is no love without sex, I would just take all the words out of his mouth. I'd be like, I'm a mind reader, bud. I know all your stories. It would be kind of, I don't know. I don't think I would do well on Rogan. Don't really. That's not a goal. That's not it. That's not a thing that I am even thinking about. But he has said my name on his podcast before. There's a famous wrestler named Kevin Owens, and that happens to be my real name. Anyways, that was he said it before, and I was like, "What? Joe Rogan talking about me?" I what I'm waiting for other guests to come up onto his show that I think are brilliant people. Garrett Mitchell, Cletus McFarland, that's the same guy. I'd like to see him go on that show, and they can talk about him buying a racetrack and stuff. Even though I've heard the racetrack shit all the time, I don't. But I think that would be a wonderful guest for him to have. Because I mean, he's like, oh yeah, I hang out with Dale Earnhardt Jr. and all kinds. Like Cletus is a good guy. He's got a lot of shit to talk about. He's building a house on his airport. I mean, and he's actually building it too. I mean, he's just going in there for clips and stuff, but he's, how many gajillionaires go in and help screw in drywall? Nobody does. And Garrett's over there, he's doing it all. From the ground up, literally. And sometimes the ground down. I think they're going to put a pool in, a Chevy emblem pool, which I think is kind of weird. I think it's awesome, but I don't know. Like you would think that there might be some sort of a trademark copyright fucking infraction there. Him putting a Chevy bow tie pool in his house. when he's a YouTuber. And he drives Fords most of the time. How about you just put a Ford logo pool in there? Round, no edges, a Chevy bow tie. It's like, I don't know. Where are you going to sit in a Chevy bow tie pool? I don't know. But anyways, I think you should do like a Freedom Factory pool. That would be cool. Like just like a or like an airstrip pool. Well, I guess people might try to land on it if he builds it looking like an airstrip. But it's right. The pool is going to look over the airfield, so it's kind of, I don't know. I'm just over here talking. I'm just giving you all my thoughts as they come. Sorry, you don't want to hear that. I used shampoo yesterday. The hotel shampoo. I did not use the conditioner. It looks too much like jizz. But I thought about it. And I want to know, I don't want to find out, but I'd like to know, if you get a handful of cum in your hand and you rub it in your beard or in your hair, does it feel like conditioner? Because I'm like, there's got to be some sort of something going on here, because conditioner looks like concentrated jizz. I don't know. It's like, and you never feel like you get it out of your hair. It's all slick. You're like, this could be some sort of animal stuff. Well, who came up with this stuff? You know? And if somebody did decide to jizz in the conditioner at the Holiday Inn Express, room 202, how am I going to tell the difference? I gotta have a control study, control and consonant or whatever the fuck it's called. There's another fucking thing, I don't know, words, but no, I just don't use conditioner. I don't do it. Don't I don't know. Anyway, I don't know where that came from. I'm just talking. I guess I'm gonna let you guys go. I'm just gonna drive around and hopefully listen to some good podcasts. I listened to the Harlan Highway. That's a good podcast. Check that out. He's a cool guy. I like listening to him. Especially when you don't want to listen to news. You don't want to listen to people being serious. You don't want to listen to people sitting around having, therapy sessions all the time. That's what a lot of podcasts seem to be. I try to listen to them and they're like, "Man, let me just give you some life advice." And it's like, "How about you don't want any life advice?" And cuz I was listening to, I don't know what I was listening to. It was one of those Theo Vaughn episodes, and Theo Vaughn, I do like Theo Vaughn, and I know he's got a little bit of disturbances going on, but little mind viruses going on. He wants mommy to hold him, and mommy don't want to hold him. Poor guy. But he had this Kevin Gates guy on, and I don't know. I like to listen to a vast variety of people, but I don't know. They're getting into, everybody's got advice, and it's like, hey, stop with the advice. You go over to Harlan Highway, he's giving advice that you ain't gonna take, but it's very interesting. I mean, he doesn't get into serious anything ever, and that's why I really cherish the Harlan Highway. He's a good guy. I like him a lot. I like him more than I should. But yeah, I don't know. I don't. Maybe I give out too much advice? I might. I don't think I do. I think I just bitch and complain all the time. And I don't know. I kind of enjoy it. I gotta have something to bitch about, or I don't feel right. This would be a real boring podcast if I never bitched about anything. If I just talked about how awesome everything was all the time. Even motorcycling. Okay, I like riding my dirt bike around, but I'm going to bitch about it because that's what I want to do. I want to bitch about things, and that's okay. I think for me, I don't know. For you guys, if you guys want it, I got it. But I'm not going to sit here and try to give off like like real life advice. I might tell you what I do, but um, I don't know. Just those podcasts that turn into therapy sessions are not what I'm looking for ever at any point in time. Sometimes they do get to me, and I'm like, ooh, maybe. And then I'm like, what the fuck am I doing here? What? Don't make me think about sad shit while I'm trying to drive my truck. I don't want to think about sad shit. Nothing was sad until you started fucking talking. Okay, but or comedians talking about comedy. You know, that's another thing it's uh it's expected, but when they talk about it too damn much and they're like, "Oh yeah, this is how I write my comedy and when I go to when I get up on stage," and it's like, "Shut up. Just do it. Just do it." Shane Gillis and Harlan Williams, I feel like are the two people that aren't going to talk about how they do their comedy all that often because you're not supposed to. It's like a magician's talking about how they do their tricks and stuff. Yeah, some people want to know, but some people just let it be magic. Let us want to know how you did that magic trick, but don't don't let us find out. I don't even know what I'm trying to say here. I'm probably starting to sound like these fucking little fucking bullshit podcasts. I don't want that. I don't want that at all. I'd like to get back into some storytelling, and I don't know, man. It's been a while. It's been a while. Maybe I can find one. I was about to end this episode. Let's see here. I've got them. I got. Oh, here it is, right there. Let's see here. Gym shower. What the fuck is that about? Okay, this is just like a list of things that I've got that I think are kind of funny stories that if I ever did decide to try comedy, I'd go here and try to work on some of this stuff. And I just don't because I don't want to because it's weird. I don't, I feel like I'm over here talking about comedy. I feel like if I was going to be a comedian, it'd be more of a Harlan type thing. I don't think Harlan writes shit down. I also don't know because he doesn't talk about it. I don't think he writes anything down. I think he just does it, goes up there and does it. And I know that's also kind of hard to do. And it's like, I don't know. I feel like a fucking nerd if I write some shit down and then I stand up in front of people and I try to read it and try to be funny about it. It's like I need to be in the middle of a conversation with people and then be like, oh, that reminds me of that one time that I was in middle school and they made me get fucking naked in a shower with a bunch of other guys. What the fuck is that about? You know? Why do I got to get naked at school? It was mandatory. They made you. They were like, you have to strip down and show me that wiener. And I'm like, what the fuck? This is wrong. It's real wrong. First off, I've got athlete's foot now. Okay? I don't want to be in here taking a shower. Listen, I sweat throughout the day. Okay? It's going to happen. I can wait till I get home to clean myself. I don't need to be naked with all you motherfuckers. Okay? The towels just feel like soft sandpaper. They are just, they've been rubbed in ass cracks around the world. Okay, that's what it feels like. I don't like it. I don't want it. Don't need it. Okay, let me just work out, or hey, make it to where I don't have to. Okay, I didn't want to be naked around a bunch of boys. We always made jokes though, like we could dig a hole in the wall, we could see into the girls. That never happened. It happened in a couple of movies. It's a great premise to be a little fucking creeper just looking at. I mean, it's really creepy now to be talking about this. Is think I'm a middle school guy talking about it. That's what I'm talking. Now I'm an old fuck. I'm an old fuck that's not cool. I think I'm kind of cool, but I'm an old guy, and it's weird to talk about the thoughts you had when you were in the middle school. So I'm not gonna. But but who the fuck decided that, man? They're like, yeah, let's get all these really young kids and make them get naked together. Let's put 6 shower heads on one pole and make them all get in there and get naked. It's like, how about no? How about maybe there's like a hallway? There's a hallway with shower heads, and you walk in. What you put a towel on, you walk in. I don't know, some sort of a car wash themed shower thing would be a lot better. And then have everybody stacks underwear right there so you could cover up your junk. I don't know. I'm not a fan of how that went down. And I got into, they were like, you're going to have to do this in high school. I didn't do that shit in high school. I'm not getting naked with everybody. Okay, I will get in my underwear. Okay, you happy? But I ain't. I'll change my clothes. I ain't getting naked and wet with fucking Alex North over here. I'm not gonna get naked with Brett Stoddard. Brett Stoddard's got a fucking gigantic hog on him, and I don't want to be near it in case it decides to bite. Anyways, that's. Do you think I wrote that down? Do you think that's something I'm going to rehearse? I think that's something that I'm going to tell totally different every time I talk about it. Try to look at one not about penises. I got hit by a car. I think I just told this one over the campfire. I got hit by a car. I've been hit by a couple of cars. All right. I'll go ahead and backtrack to a different car getting hit by a story. We are having a bonfire at this chick's house. Her daddy got a lot of money, and his daddy needed. She had a brother too. I don't know, but having a bunch of young kids coming around, they're like, you can have a bonfire if you help me paint the fence, shit like that. Uh, like yeah, fuck it, you can fuck up my whole land and get hammered drunk as long as that fence gets painted. And we would, just, and I feel like I'd like to be that type of parent too. Not really. No, I'm not saying I'm going to do it. I'm not going to say, yeah, I want to get a bunch of young kids drunk at my house. I'm not going to do that. But if my son has a bunch of friends and I'm like, hey, guys, the yard really needs mowed. It would be so cool if you would just mow it and then ride go-karts or something. I don't know. But anyways, we were over this chick's house, and we would do some work over there sometimes, but we would mainly go over there and fuck around. And we were having a bonfire, and anyways, this story is really anticlimactic, but Caleb, the big fat gay guy, he's a really fucking cool guy. I really liked him, and he was gay. That doesn't make me gay, just makes me like another person on the world. He was a cool guy. and he's very friendly. Well, that sounds weird now. Anyways, he hit a chick with his fucking mirror off of his Denali, and it was the funniest thing in the world. I don't know. I don't even know how to fucking say that. He was driving around, and she was behind the mirror, and he just bam, knocked her the fuck out. I'm surprised she didn't get her legs ran over because he did not stop. He just kept going. We were all yelling, and he went faster. And it's if her legs had gone under the, he'd have ran her right over. Would have been a very good story, not for her. I mean, I guess for her, it'd be a good story all around. But she probably might not walk, so that's not cool. Gotta funny stories. No, nobody loses a limb. I did have a buddy just lose a thumb. That guy, I need to give him a call. I really do. I should call him. I should talk to him. And I'm probably going to give him a little bit of shit. Because if I lost my thumb, I don't want people being all sad for me. If I lose part of my leg, I'm going to need some people to make fun of me to get me out of the mindset of just being sad of having no leg. So I'm gonna treat people the way I want to be treated. You lose a thumb, it's gonna be hard to hitch a ride with that guy. You know, what are you? What else? Can't pick that fucking thing up. Hope you're left-handed. You know, shit like that. I don't know. And it's gonna be shit that he's gonna hear for the rest of his fucking life. So eventually, it's not gonna be funny. So I need to talk to him soon. Get these jokes in soon. So whenever he hears it again, from me, he's gonna think it's funny. From the next guy, he's gonna be like, heard that a million times. You know, there's only so much time you can make fun of a limb getting gone before all the jokes get told about it. So yeah, I'm gonna need to call him soon. Anyways, what was I about to say? What I was about to talk about? Oh, he hit her with a fucking car. It was funny. The the other car getting hit by a story, yeah, is and I've told it on the podcast before. I was working as a busser at this bar and grill, and me and a couple of buddies, there's a couple of guys that showed up to the bar and grill right at closing time. Somebody might have called them. Somebody, maybe they just showed up. But I was walking through the parking lot, had my apron uh, thrown over my shoulder. I was gonna say I had it on, but it would have make sense if I had it on. So I have it over my shoulder in the story, and I'm walking through the parking lot, and he's got this BMW that him and his dad had fixed up over the years. Like they stripped it all down, fixed up the motor and the transmission and axles, and all the shit was good on, and then the interior white leather everywhere, and then they painted it. That was the last step, was they painted it and put new glass in it. And he had been driving it around. It's a pretty old BMW, and he thought it would be really funny. It was now and then, probably. He hit me with his fucking car kind of quick, and I jumped, but not quick enough, and he hit my ankles, and I flopped I wasn't fat, but I was still a big piece of meat, fell on his hood, and then slid up to his windshield. I didn't crack the windshield. That'd have been a better story. But I did slide up his hood, and I had a big belt buckle on, and it scratched his hood. And he's like, "What the fuck?" I'm like, "Brother, you hit me with a fucking car. My ankles hurt now." And that's a joke about getting hit by a car. See, I don't know if that's my line of work. I think my line of work is going to be just truck driving and talking about some stupid ass stories that I've got from back in the day. Um, and hopefully news stories that come up. Sometimes they do. But doesn't seem like something I can go up and do in front of a bunch of people. Maybe so. I don't know. I'm not hearing any laughs from anybody, so I don't know if that's good or not. More stories. Oh, fuck. Where'd they go? The time I fought 3 guys. We can tell that story. That's a good one. So, I was working at the gas station. I just talked about the gas station the other day. I was working at the gas station, and every night, it seemed like, I would go out to this bonfire down the road. It was on public land. There's campgrounds, and sometimes there was people camping out there, especially if it was on the weekend. But most of the time, it was just us out there and nobody else around. And even the cops would come out there every now and again, and they'd say, "Are you guys getting drunk?" And we'd say, "Kinda." And they're like, "Don't, don't do that anymore." And then they left. They wouldn't encourage it, but they would just say, "All right, cool," and they'd leave. They left us all alone. They'd let us get hammered drunk out in the middle of nowhere. I think they were more of park rangers. But anyways, we're out like we always are, and we're at this campground. We got a big fire going on. We have pallets. Everybody has pickup trucks, so we found this place that throws out old pallets, and we would load up our trucks and trailers sometimes and go out to this fucking place and burn pallets and just giant fires. It's always a good time, and we'd all they'd all stop by the gas station before I close up. We'd load up on liquor, and then we'd head out on the road. So it was a normal campfire, and it always is. And then a, some random people, they would show up every now and again, but this time was a little bit different. There was 3 dudes and 3 girls that showed up in a pickup truck, and they just kind of rolled up and parked and got out. And I think they were trying to like look around the campfire and see if they saw any faces that they recognized. I'm guessing these were local guys. Um, but they didn't recognize anybody. But I'm over there, and I'm like 4 beers deep, which is wasted for me. I'm a lightweight, but I'm not wasted, but I am feeling pretty good. And so I go over there to them, and I'm like, "Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to the bonfire." After they've been there for like 10 minutes, um, and I'm just trying to be a friendly guy. I'm like, "Hey, these are new people to come hang out at the campfire. More the better." So I thought, and I'm talking to them, and then more of the after I kind of broke the ice of being part of this group of probably 20 people, went over there to talk to them, and then some of the guys came over, and we're all over there sitting around chatting. But then there's a girl I wanted to have sex with over there, so I went over to talk to her. Her name was Dallas, and we did. Not that night, but we did at some point in time. And there's a couple other girls on our side that were pretty cute, and I'd like to just go over there and talk to them. So I went over there, and I'm talking to them, and then the guys, you can hear them start a commotion. They're like, "My dad's truck's cooler than your grandpa's truck," and he's like, "My uncle's truck's cooler than your cousin's truck," and he's like, "My truck's cool, but my dad's truck is cooler," and I don't know. They were just idiotic fucking fight over whose trucks, Cummins and Diesel and Duramax powered stroke and all kinds of. Who gives a fuck? Really? I mean, I back then I was diehard Chevy. I was like, if you drive a Ford, you like getting fucked in the ass. But nowadays I'm more open minded. LGBTQ Ford symbol plus queer. Hey, do what you want to do. If you want to drive a Ford, hey, that's okay now. In my mind. But back then I was like, Chevy or die, Chevy or die, Toyota sometimes, only if they're old, like 80s. Um, and I still won't own a Ford probably. I've got 2 Chevys. I'm gonna stick with them. I think I'm done buying vehicles for a while. Anyways, they start complaining about trucks and whose is better and whose is worse. And mine could pull yours out of a ditch, and yours couldn't pull mine out of a ditch. And it's like, why would yours be in a ditch and I can't pull it out? What are you talking? Yours is a piece of shit. It gets stuck in the. They're fighting like that. Pretty fucking dumb. And then the girls, they had 3 girls on their side and 3 girls on our side, the girls on our side, I'm going to tell it a little bit different than I ever have before. They say, "Aren't those guys dumb? They're fighting over whose truck's better." And the girls over there are like, "Yeah, it's a fucking stupid fight." And then the girls on our side are like, "Wait, what the fuck you say?" And she's like, "Who the fuck you talking to?" And then the girls get into an actual brawl. 3 of their girls versus 2 of our girls, and they're all just fighting. And then the guys are like, "Whoa!" We were all watching for a little bit. Maybe a titty'd pop out. No, they're all wearing sports bras and shit. Can't get the titties to pop out. And then one of the guys like, "Hey, your guy is touching my girl, and your girl's touching my guy," and everybody's getting real upset. And I'm like, this is fucking dumb. This is really dumb. And I'm also like, I know there's some underage people here. I should probably get the fuck out of here because this is just not something I should be wrapped up in, especially with the way I am. I'm like, get out early and we'll talk about it tomorrow. So I get into my truck. I had an 89 Chevy 4-wheel drive at the time. Old, rusty, barely ran. But I drove it out, and everybody saw me leave. Everybody knows what I drive, and I left. And then I turn around, and I come back on the backside. Now, this was not a strategic plan. This was just, hey, there actually might be a fight, and I might want to watch that. I think that'd be kind of cool to see that fight. So, turned around, and went back. And sorry, I think there might be a way station coming up, and that's not a fun thing for me to be in. I mean, I'm not going to be too heavy. Anyways, I come back around from the backside, and I'm in the shadows. And I park my truck, and I turn it off, and I'm just listening to everybody fight. And I see one buddy, Jake, big Jake, tall big Jake, and he's standing there, and the 3 dudes are surrounding him. And there's our other guys are up on the hill. I see them; they're up on the hill, and and our girls and stuff, and their girls are standing off, and they're just picking up their wigs or whatever, or their ties for their hairs or whatever. I don't know. And I'm like, if they make a move on him, that's my friend, and I will attack. So I get out. I'm just waiting. And then all of a sudden, they fucking punch him right in the side of the head. And I dart like a cheetah across this darkness field. And I pop out of the shadows and bam! Punch this guy that's on top of my buddy. I punch him and he flies back up against the truck. And then I punch him again. And then one of the other guys comes over and punches me in the side of the head. But I am not a good fighter. Never really been in a serious fight before. I just keep punching the same fucking guy. I'm like, I'm just going to take you completely out. And then I'll work on the other guys. That's what I say now, but at the time, I just couldn't see anything. And I just kept punching the one soft fucking body in front of me. As I'm getting hit in the side of the head. I'm not even blocking or anything. I'm just beating the shit out of this guy. I probably hit him 3 or 4 times. Nothing crazy. I'm not a badass. Not that badass. I'm not good at nothing. If I listened to a little bit of Joe Rogan nowadays, I probably would have just walked away and never came back. But anyways, Yeah, I just keep getting hit. And I eventually end up in the fetal position. And then, hey, there's rules to fighting. And you guys are breaking the rules of fighting. 3-on-1, and you're stomping my head in with steel toe boots. That's not fun. You know, we were all having a good time. And now this is really not a good time. You know, we were all fighting mutually, I thought. And now you guys are kicking me in the face. That's really not cool. Like, I'm not going to do that to you. They're soccer kicking me with steel toe boots while I'm on the ground. Now, that's not cool, okay? You you make me sad, okay? You're really not being fair in this fight right now. And eventually some of the girls over there, their girls, say, "He's had enough. Let him up." I'm like, "Who the fuck are you?" And then they tried to hit me again, but I ran out of the way. I dodged them. And I run up to my truck and I open up the door and I get in and I shut the door and I lock it. And then I cough and just blood everywhere, all over the interior of my truck. I mean, it's all over the side door window, the windshield, the steering wheel. It's just a bloodbath. And I'm like, fuck, where are my glasses? Because I wear glasses. And that's pretty gay thing to say after you get beat up. Like, where's my glasses? What are you, Piggy from the fucking Lord of the Flies? Are you the fucking kid that got eaten up by fucking killer bees in that one movie? No. You're a badass that just got his ass whooped. Where are my glasses? I'm like, I don't have my glasses. But I said, fuck it, I'll be fine. I don't need no glasses. I'll be all right. And I drove away. And while I'm driving away, I'm thinking, where the fuck was all my friends? We had like 20 guys. Not 20 guys, but 20 people. Probably 13 guys. Where the fuck is everybody at? You know, because when I got in my truck and I drove off and I look back, there's nobody there. Just the people that beat the shit out of me. And I'm like, where's the guy that I was saving? Where'd he go? And I drive up and I get up on top of the hill and I see a truck of a couple of guys that I guess they had left and went to the gas station at some point, and they were on their way back. And I roll my window down. They're like, "What the fuck?" I'm like, "Brothers, where were you?" And they're like, "What happened?" They're like, "We went to the gas station to go get some more apple juice. What happened to you?" I'm like, "Those fucking 3 fucking gay guys that showed up with their girlfriends, those closeted gays, beat me up." And he's like, "Oh, shit." I'm like, "Yeah, they're pretty fucking rude because they were kicking me." And then a cop pulls around the corner. It's regular old Jim Bob cop guy. And he rolls up and he's like, "Are you all right?" I'm like, "Yeah." So I fucking fell down the stairs. He's like, "Oh." I'm like, "No, actually, 3 fucking queers beat me up." He's like, "Queers? Where are they at?" We're in redneck country right here. Oh fucking beat these queers' dicks off with both hands. And I'm like, he's like, "Where are they?" I'm like, "I don't know, man. They're in a truck, sucking each other's cocks." He's like, "Is it them?" And there's a truck rolling down the road, and I didn't recognize the truck, so I said, "Nah, it's not them. It was them." And also, I don't know if it was them, if I would have, because I'm not pressing charges or nothing. I'm not. It's like, yeah, we had a fight. It's okay. I mean, they did kick me in the head, but I'm also not gonna fucking like, yeah, I got beat up. Okay, who gives a shit? All right, I'll be fine. They didn't kill me. They didn't fucking pop one of my eyes out of my socket or anything. They could have, and then I'd have been pissed. I like my eyeballs. I like seeing out of both of them. The right one sees a little bit better than the left, and I like that. If I can lose my right eye, all I got is a can't see so well out of my left eye, and I need them both. But hey, I got both my eyes and I can hear. I did lose my glasses, but that's not a big deal. I need to get new ones anyways. So anyways, they go, and then I'm like, all right, well, let's just go back to the gas station because there's nobody back that way. And we go to the gas station. Who do we see? And I'm like wondering also, like, how did you guys come back from the gas station and not pass by the fucking giant line of trucks of all of your friends? But I went to the gas station and I see them. They're all parked up, and I see Jake. He's standing there with his back towards me as I pull up, and he's like, "They hit me in the back of the head, dude. It was fucking bullshit. They hit me." And then I walk up and I'm behind him, and I'm like, "Hey, Jake." And he turns around. He's like, "What happened?" I was like, "Where were you, man?" He's like, "What do you mean?" I was like, "They got on top of you and started trying to beat your ass. And I ran in there and saved your fucking life. Okay? And look what I got for what you did, what you got into, I finished. And not good. 3 against 1, not good. I thought it was going to be more like 13 on 3. Didn't turn out that way, did it?" And anyway, some of the hot chicks that I was trying to fuck, I really got some puss tokens from that. And they took me into the bathroom and wiped me down. I felt nice. And they're like, we go back out to the gas station. This is a gas station we go to all the time. Not the one I worked at. This is a 24-hour deal. And they're like, "What is on your forehead?" Like, it looks like a logo. And then we look at it a little closer, and it says Nitsuja. Uj. I don't know how to say Justin backwards, but Justin is a brand of boot. And on the bottom of the Justin boot, there's a logo. And if you stomp somebody in the forehead hard enough, it's going to leave a little bit of an imprint that you're going to have for at least 6 hours. And yeah, it wasn't cool. I probably had 2 black eyes, broke nose, bleeding everywhere. It just wasn't a good time. And I was still in my work attire. I looked like a real queer wearing a fucking polo for a gas station and some khakis covered in blood. But I went ahead and went home. My dad saw me as I came in. I was not being quiet. And he's like, "What the hell happened to you? You need to go to the hospital." I said, "No, no, 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 no. I just want to go to sleep." And he's like, "You can't sleep. You'll die. You've got a concussion." So I had to tell him the whole story, and then he took me to the hospital, and then they checked me out, and they said, "You do have a mild concussion." I said, "Bullshit. I'm fine." But they gave me some pills, some happy pills, and I did take the happy pills. That's one thing I'm kind of surprised with all the bullshit that I've been through in my life and all the happy pills that I've been given by these doctors and experimented a little bit with some friends. I never got attached to them. So that's cool because I definitely had the supplies to become addicted to some shit. I didn't have the money to, so if me not being under a bridge right now, sucking cock for oxycontins, that's pretty cool that I'm not there. But yeah. Anyways, that's the time that I got beat up by 3 dudes, and I'm still in touch with Jake, and I bring it up most of the time when I talk. I'm like, "Hey, you remember that one time that those guys punched you in the back of the head, and then I saved your life?" He's like, "Yeah." I'm like, and then I go through the whole story with him again, and he's like, "I know." I'm like, "I just, you know what? You know what I got that day? I got the right to tell you about that time every day that I talk to you. Every time I talk to you, I get to tell that story for what I sacrificed for you." And yeah, that still stands today. And I don't feel bad about that at all. I'm going to keep talking about the time that I got beat up for him. And I got him a job. And then he decided he was going to be my boss. And I'm like, that's not cool. He didn't decide that. My boss decided he was going to be my boss because he's a smooth talker. He can get his way in and out of everything. And he went in for an interview of a place I was working. And then we needed another tech. And I said, come over here, be a tech with me. And he said, all right, I will. And he showed up, and then he walked out of the office. I said, how'd it go? He's like, I'm actually now a supervisor. I'm like, what the fuck? What the fuck? You remember that time I got my ass beat for you, and now you're going to tell me where to take items? No, 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 no. And I quit. And I'm not kidding. That is one of the main reasons I fucking quit that job. I was like, I cannot believe you're my boss. I'm out of here. And I left. Whew. Anyways, that's about all the stories I got for you today. Tune in to next time. I don't want to say tomorrow, but tune in next time and maybe I'll give you another one. Adios. Keep all 18 down. We'll talk to you later.